this video, I want to show you how to use the WatchGuard System Manager tools and the Fireware Web UI to synchronize a feature key directly on your Firebox, as well as how to retrieve and manually import a feature key. Why is a feature key needed on a Firebox? Well, the feature key enables a set of licensed features on the Firebox. This includes security services like web locker and application control. Additionally, updating the firmware on your Firebox requires a valid and current feature key. The Firebox only allows a single connection through it when there's no feature key active on the Firebox. It is designed this way that you can use the single connection to retrieve the feature key if you do not already have it available. I will show you how to get that feature key later in this video. If the Firebox has an active connection to the internet, the best way is to directly synchronize the feature key on the Firebox using the Fireware Web UI and the Firebox System Manager. Starting with the Fireware Web UI, we log in as an administrative user with read-write access and navigate to System, then Feature Key. In this example, we see the Feature Key wizard as the Firebox does not have a feature key, which perhaps was skipped on the initial installation or got removed for some other reason. We will use the default selected radio button to download and install the feature key now and click Next. After this has successfully completed, we again click Next and see the summary and listed features, which is the same view of when a Firebox already has an imported feature key. To keep the feature key up to date, leave the default automatic feature key synchronization enabled, yet in rare cases, being in contact with WatchGuard support, you might be asked to disable this checkbox. Let us step back to the wizard for an important thing to keep in mind, and that is you cannot use this option for Firebox V which has not been initially set up with a feature key. The reason is that the Firebox V does not yet have a valid serial number to use this synchronization process. This can be easily identified looking at the serial number on the dashboard's front panel. This requires a manual import of the feature key, which we're going to look at later in this video. Like in the example with the Fireware Web UI, we can directly download the feature key and install the feature key using the Firebox System Manager. Already connected to the Firebox with a WatchGuard System Manager, we select the device. We then go to Tools, and then Firebox System Manager, which opens it. From here, we go to Tools, and then Synchronize Feature Key. The task requires us to enter an administrative user with read-write access and confirm this accordingly. The synchronization will start, and after a short period, we see an according message being completed. Under View, then Feature Keys, we can see the feature key including the information about the automatic feature key synchronization being enabled. The option to enable and disable this can be found in the WatchGuard Policy Manager, seen later in this video. Like previously mentioned, you cannot use this option for a Firebox V which has not been initially set up with a feature key. Therefore, it is using a default serial number, which you can see in the detail area of the Firebox System Manager's front panel. This again requires a manual import, and how this works we will look at now. Whenever we want to manually import a feature key, we first need a copy of the key. So, logged into the WatchGuard Support Center, we go to My WatchGuard, Manage Products, then click on View Products in the Network Security tile. Here we can see a list of all registered devices on this account. To see more details of a device, just click on the device's name, yet we can use a shortcut, using the three dots on the right to the device to get the feature key, and click on Copy to be copied into the computer's clipboard. It might be a good idea to paste it now into a text editor in the case the computer's clipboard gets cleared. We are now ready to import the feature key using the Fireware Web UI and WatchGuard System Manager. Starting with the Fireware Web UI, we log in as an administrative user with read-write access and navigate to System, then Feature Key. This time, we select the according radio button as having a local copy of the feature key and click Next. The key has been successfully applied, and once we click Next, we can see the summary and listed features. Here we have the option to modify the feature key, like Update, which is the same procedure as just seen, and Remove. But of course also the option to retrieve the feature key, so downloading the key directly to the Firebox. Already connected to the Firebox with the WatchGuard System Manager, we select the device, then go to Tools, and then Policy Manager, which opens it. From here we go to Setup and then Feature Keys. Oh, do you see the F on the right to Feature Keys? This is a keyboard shortcut, so within the main Policy Manager window, you can also use the key F to open the Firebox feature key window directly. We see the information of the Firebox not having been activated with a feature key. To fix this, we click on Import and then Paste to paste our previously copied feature key into the field. If the feature key has been saved to a text file, there is also the option to browse to the file to then be imported. To confirm, we click on OK. This download button has a common misconception. This does not download the feature key from the WatchGuard servers, but instead from the Firebox matching this IP address. If you want to download the feature key from the WatchGuard servers, you can do that from the Firebox System Manager. Keep in mind you can only synchronize the feature key if the device has a valid serial number. The button Remove removes the feature key from this configuration, but not on the Firebox itself. As mentioned earlier in this video, to keep the feature key up to date, leave the default automatic feature key synchronization enabled, yet in rare cases being in contact with WatchGuard support, you might be asked to disable this checkbox. We confirm again with OK, and the configuration can be saved to the Firebox. Here are some key takeaways. If the Firebox has internet connectivity, the quickest way is to download the feature key using the Fireware Web UI or the Firebox System Manager. Remember, this does not work when your Firebox V is still running with a default serial number. Whenever completing a manual feature key import, you download the feature key from the WatchGuard Support Center. Then add the feature key to the Firebox with the Fireware Web UI or Policy Manager. Leave the per default automatic feature key synchronization enabled to have the Firebox keep the feature key up to date, unless being asked otherwise by WatchGuard support.